Hello and happy Halloween.
So,
So yeah, greetings. Welcome back to the Don't Make This Weird podcast. I'm your toast with strawberries and cream cheese and honey.
toast.
Tony.
What?
And this is the ever so effervescent Heather.
You can't see me yet.
No. She's we're having technical difficulties with the number pad because the Asian was trying to
We could try to blame you. We could try.
So yeah, the camera is just on me, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
But yeah, so happy Halloween. Hopefully you are not putting yourself into type 1 diabetes because that sucks.
No sugar coma.
Yeah, no sugar coma. And yeah. Should we start out like we do every week and
Talk about our weeks?
Talk about our weeks. Yeah.
We could, yeah. I just want to say happy Halloween to everybody. I guess you're going to have to switch over so everybody can see me. Oh, man.
It's not.
Now the keyboard's broken.
The keyboard's broken.
Right. All right. So I guess you guys are... Oh, there. Hi, guys.
There you go.
So, happy Halloween, guys. I went to work like this, and then I decided just to come straight here because I knew once I went home, I wasn't coming back out. So, yeah, decided to go ahead and just come right to the studio tonight. So I didn't change. Did none of that.
Zero
So
fucks given.
I'm in spirit for Halloween, whatever.
That's right.
So hi, guys. But yeah, let's go ahead and start with our week. Do you want to go ahead?
I
Oh.
Go ahead. Do your week first.
Okay, so this week has been much better. If you guys followed the show last week, I was it was kind of like I said pity party story for one, because I was dealing with a lot of like sickness with sinus and tooth and what else was it? Tooth,
Yep.
ear, and sinuses. But I am doing much better. Our doctor is amazing. She was able to figure out what was going on, and I am like 100% better.
Right.
So I am happy about that. And this week has been just really good. I got to rest last week, so I can't complain. However, I have learned, don't say I need a vacation, because I can't say it, because every time I say that I need a vacation, that happens.
Right.
Every time. So I'm just, it's been a much better week. I'm back to work and I'm enjoying work. We did a really cool parade through the store from everybody being dressed up. And this is my first year really dressing up.
Really?
Because I could actually fit into costumes.
This is true.
So I went and I was able to dress up and go, and I actually could walk the whole entire store without dying.
Right.
It was fantastic.
We already got some action in the chat.
Oh, do we? What we got going on?
Yeah. Let me see if I can. It won't transition. Dang it.
Oh, it's not switching over?
No,
Oh, there we go.
I don't know. Anyways, so Candy says, hello, family.
Hey,
and
Candy.
Shelby says, hey, guys, how you doing?
Hey guys, happy Halloween. Glad you guys are joining us. What
yeah.
else you got going on though? I mean, it's really crappy rainy. Let's talk about that too. And we'll
Right.
get to that. But like this weather change, it's like, oh man, come on. But glad you guys are tuning in. Looking forward to the rest of you tuning in. It's just Tony and I hanging out tonight.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do something a little bit different after we get through our weeks. But
Yeah.
if you want to go ahead and switch it over to you,
Yeah.
how has your week been? And don't tell me crazy busy, because hold on, I should have went as a fortune teller. I already know that that's what's going to be said.
Well, no, here's the great part about my week. So I get to do one of the coolest jobs in the world, and that's
Yeah.
be an executive producer for 2 podcasts that we work on.
Right.
And just this last week, if you missed it, after our show, go back and listen to Mitch's fake radio.
Yeah, you guys have to do that.
It is so much fun to work on. In fact, you got roasted hardcore
I
on
did.
the show.
I did. I really did. But I took it like a champ.
Oh God, it was so much fun though.
Took it like a champ.
And I mean, with a lot of the things that we do on that show, it's I can't talk on Mitch's show, so I have so much fun doing that because it adds to the banter, even though there's not a whole. It's like Mitch is the straight guy,
Yeah.
and I'm the silent funny guy, because it's so much fun. But no, it was great because you weren't feeling that hot, so you couldn't sit in the producer's seat.
Not that night. And it felt weird to me. Honestly, it felt weird to me because I've never missed one of his shows.
Right.
So it's before I even was able to, make it here. I was like, Man, I've never missed one of his episodes. Never. And I don't think I will again.
Right.
Because
you got lit up.
I did. Like, seriously did. I mean, I'm not upset about it. Like,
it was all fun and games.
it was totally fun.
Yeah.
And Becky was like, "Are you okay after being roasted like that?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, totally." Because he managed to mention me more in his podcast, almost more than he mentioned himself. So I was just like, "Yeah, okay, all right, cool."
I'll finish my week, but I
Go
play
ahead.
one of these commercials
Yeah,
that
for
he
sure,
does?
man.
Oh my god, it is so much fun.
So, you've had a great shirt in your closet for over a year now. Why haven't you worn it?
Oh, I like this shirt, but it's just too long. It's almost like a sleepy shirt.
What are you gonna do about it?
I guess I could cut it off, but I don't have anything to cut it with.
Introducing all new scissors from Mitch Gear.
Yeah, I got those scissors from Mitch Gear. Let me go get them for you.
Oh, yeah, thanks, buddy.
Oh, I cut my finger off.
Oh, gee, that's too bad. Isn't that the one you always thought was too long?
Oh, yeah, I always hated that finger.
I'm sorry, but can I use those scissors?
Yeah, go ahead. There's so much blood.
If that shirt's too long, cut it off.
Here, use the excess fabric wrapper on your finger.
There, that's better. That's better. Hey, that shirt looks great on you now.
Scissors by Mitch Gear. Laces too long? Cut them off. Chives too long in the garden? Cut them off. Umbilical cord too long? Cut it off. Neutering your cat? Why not? Foreskin too long? Cut it off. Ew. Right in the schmeckle. Nose hair too long? Achoo. Skin tags too long? Cut them off. Warts too long? Cut them off.
Ow, damn, that hurt.
Mugging going on too long?
Give me that money.
No, get away from me.
Give me that money.
No, get away from me.
Cut it off.
Oh, you bitch.
That'll teach you.
Line too long at the self-checkout at Walmart? Cut it off.
Hey, he cut in front of me.
No, he didn't. It was scissors from Mitch Gear. Scissors by Mitch Gear. And all Mitch Gear products available in the As Seen on TV aisle at Walmart.
Thanks, scissors from Mitch Gear.
Fake disclaimer, don't run the scissors, motherfucker.
The ending, motherfucker. That's
But-
so funny.
That's the stuff that we get to do.
It's fun. It's so much fun.
We get to do the music, we get to do the voiceover stuff, and it's all Mitch, all fake, all the time, and it is an
It's so fake.
absolute blast. Now, that was, I don't even know, what, a minute and a half? Something like that we get to do
Yeah.
for, doing Mitch's show. Now, a production like that generally takes a lot longer than a minute and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. It takes a lot. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. And I know a lot of people don't really realize how much stuff actually goes on behind the scenes. For those that have had, the pleasure of joining us in the studio to
Right.
see all the different things that we
Right.
do, like you guys get it. But on a weekly basis, the stuff that we do, well, for Mitch's, there's a lot, and
Yeah.
you are really responsible for
The bulk of that.
bulk of it, which I know you love doing. You guys,
Oh, God,
you guys
yeah.
knock it out of the park every time. So Mitch's show is only once a month. He calls it his monthly.
Yeah.
Mitch's fake radio is once a month, and it's so fun to be able to produce that.
Yeah.
And being here in the studio when he's live, it's so hard to keep from laughing. And Becky got a little bit of a taste of
Oh,
that.
she got a hard
'Cause she
taste.
filled in for me, and I appreciate her filling in for me. However, I will be back next show. Like, I will be back.
Jeremy just chimed in and said, it's confirmed. Heather is the crazy cat lady.
What? No, I'm not the crazy.
No,
kid.
no, Mr. Superman.
Wow.
But no, that's why I always say my weeks are so crazy because we're constantly doing stuff like this.
Right. Oh yeah.
And we're busting stuff out. I mean, I think it's hilarious because this is loosely how my week goes. And I say loosely because you got to strike while the pan's hot sometimes.
Absolutely.
Generally speaking, and this is on a quasi busy week. Friday, we go down to the man cave. We do pre-production. We do a live show for This Is My Brain. Sunday, we come back.
Airs on Saturdays.
Saturday night.
8 p.m., I think.
So we're doing generally 3 to 4 shows, sometimes 5, of putting stuff in the reserve to drop them for pre-recorded shows.
Right,
Sunday,
right.
we come back. We do the Survivor Girl podcast.
Yep.
Monday, we roll around, and I run all over the place to getting stuff done for Becky's appointments and stuff like that.
Right. You got a lot of stuff going on.
I catch my stuff up because generally Mondays are my catch-up days to work in the studio and to clean
Right.
it up. Tuesdays, I do pre-production with Mitch.
Mm-hmm.
Wednesdays, pre-production.
Yeah.
Thursdays, our show.
Yep.
And then Friday, boom, start the whole entire
Which-
process all over
A
again.
minuscule amount for our show for any kind of pre-production. I think like the main thing that we do with ours, like for a lot of people that don't know, we just kind of go off the cuff for don't make this weird.
Well, but we also got, this amazing setup here with the
Right.
studio program stuff and then getting all that stuff logged in, plus creating content.
Yes.
And we're generally riffing off each other for most of the week of going, what do we want to talk about?
Right, right.
And I don't think people understand the art of conversation to keep it interesting. To
There's
where
a lot.
when someone chimes in
Yeah.
and they're listening, going, "Wow, these guys are on point with what they're talking about."
Sometimes, yeah.
And that's kind of one of the topics that I want to get into a little
Right.
bit later on as we're finishing our weeks. But it's kind of crazy that we are at what are we at? We're at 113 episodes. Now we did the math.
Yeah. That's
And we are well over 200 podcasts. We've got people reaching out to us that are doing other podcasts going, hey, how can we come to you guys and make our show better? I had a guy what was it, Tuesday, I think it was,
Mhm.
listen to the show, and he's like, hey, I do a podcast.
Yeah.
How do I get the same level of production that you guys are doing with
Yeah.
the camera angles and with the audio and with the
Which-
video? And
Which we'd love to be able to help other people,
Yeah.
get their podcasts up and running and stuff
Mhm.
because we've done 113 now. Well, give or take, there's more
There's
actually
way
that we've
more.
done. We've done some specials too with some different people that couldn't make it on a Thursday night, which we
Right.
wouldn't mind doing. We're not opposed to doing.
right,
If there is somebody out there that would like to join us and
Yeah.
can't do it on a Thursday night,
right,
we're pretty flexible. Even though, like Tony always says, we are crazy busy.
right.
But we can work around it. I mean, this time of year, a lot of people know that I am working at Bronner's, and we're getting into the busy season, so I'll be going pretty
Right.
full tilt until about January. However, though, in between those times, I try to figure out, to make things doable and make be able to still get stuff done. So I mean, there's a lot there during this time of year, but I really really enjoy that job too. So I like going and working there. Got some stuff in chat.
No, I was actually sharing the link.
Oh, I shared it. I shared it on Don't Make This
Oh,
Weird. It's
okay.
on Strange Friends Media. And I also I put it out there. I know that Jeff had said that he didn't see that we had gone live, but it came up on my
Yeah.
my phone. So you might have to hit the subscription bell, the subscriber bell.
All notifications.
All notifications so that you do get it every single Thursday. So because it did come up on all of our phones, so I don't know.
Right. And
I don't
that's
know.
that's the funny part about it is doing stuff like that. I mean, we're still looking for interns to
Yeah.
help us out with this stuff.
Yep.
And when I say interns, Nate did it best the one show, and I don't remember what show it was because we're professional. We don't have it
Hard to
together.
tell which one, but yeah.
But he threw down. He's like, "Look, here's the thing you need to understand with an internship.
It's an internship.
It's an internship.
Right.
You're not going to get paid, but because of the stuff that we do, you're going to get an
Mhm.
experience that you're not going to get anywhere else.
Right.
So shut your mouth and quit whining like a little bitch
Mhm.
and get to
Well,
fucking work."
Well, honestly, since we started this, do people think that just because we have a podcast and we're 113 in that we're making money for the show?
Right.
That's not the case.
Right.
You got to think that there's internet and there's electricity and then equipment and all that stuff. Even if we were continually making any kind of revenue,
Mhm.
it all goes right back into that generally.
What-
I mean, we have spaces that would be available for sponsorship and different things. Like
Right.
we would love to have that. But we had somebody that was inboxing and saying, well, free labor, free labor, free labor. And thanks for not admitting that it's free. That's, and he was like, oh, like you don't get paid. Honestly, I don't. None of us do.
Well, and that's the thing that
You know,
people need to realize, because we have as amazing as a listening audience and a viewing audience that we
Yeah.
have, a lot of them have stepped up and said, hey, you guys are doing this event. How can I help?
Right, right. Oh yeah, for
And they've,
sure.
whether it's they've thrown in resources, they've
Right.
thrown in money. It's all of that stuff where we've all worked together to make these things happen.
Oh, for sure.
And I am incredibly grateful to be doing this, 3 years later,
3 years later, we've been doing this.
on top of almost every 6 months dropping a new podcast.
Yeah, yeah, every 6 months. I mean, it's the best thing. Like, and I say that, and I come out and I say, "Well, we don't get paid." That's not me complaining.
No.
I've absolutely loved this journey. We have met so many incredibly talented,
Wow.
just awesome people.
The
That's
list is huge.
That's payment enough, really, honestly. We like to be able to promote other people and help other people. We've had several bands, we've had comedians, we've had all kinds of people, people with other podcasts,
Entertainers,
paranormal, all kinds of different, entertainment.
local mom and pop places.
Yeah, for sure. Just businesses that are trying to thrive as just a local business or whatever. And, it's been really cool just being able to support other people.
Yeah.
For me, that's payment. Like,
Well,
I'm cool with that.
And our friends at Solid State Radio.
Oh, yeah.
Sean and
Shout
Adam.
out to those guys.
Those guys are so much fun. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
they approached us, 18 months ago?
It was quite a while back now.
Something like
yeah.
that. And they
Yeah,
said,
for
hey,
sure.
look, guys, we started Solid State Radio 2 weeks after you guys
Yep.
did yours. We've been
Yep.
fans of the show. We love what you do.
Which, thanks, guys.
How can we help you guys get your podcast to grow bigger?
Right.
And, myself, Chris, and Nate went and sat down with them. We
Yep.
worked it out,
Yep.
worked out a great deal. And they restream all of our shows.
Everything that we're doing right now, other than with the exception of This Is My Brain, because there's more episodes that they want.
They need to get more
they have to
episodes.
they have to revenue episode or
course.
archive. I don't know. It's me we're talking about. I say what I want.
Right.
But
right.
so they want to get some of those built up though before they go ahead and do it. And they messaged or commented on our show last week
Right.
about wanting to come back on, and they were so fun. It was
Oh
such
my
a
God,
blast
it was
having
such a
them.
blast.
So we're waiting to hear back on that so we can get them back on the show.
Yeah.
And we're trying to go a different route this third season with having guests for like the first 3 episodes
Yep.
and then going kind of back to the art of conversation amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like where we're at tonight. Chris, with Halloween going on, he had other stuff that was
Yep.
going, which, and that was another thing. I know that you guys absolutely love Chris, and so do we.
Yeah.
He can't always make it, but,
Right.
he's not going anywhere. We've already
No.
said we're not quitting.
Chris
each
is a
other.
lifer.
He's a lifer. We're not quitting. He can't quit us, and we can't quit him. So,
I wish
you
I
know.
could quit you.
but when he comes back, he really nails it.
Oh, yeah.
He's hilarious. He's fun. We have such a good energy, I think, between the 3 of us. And, we're able to go ahead and stand
Yeah.
alone, too. Like tonight, we're kind of doing a little something different. We're going to kind of interview each other because
Right.
neither one of us has really been interviewed, I think, on anything.
Well, and we're-
On this show, for one.
No, and we're going to
You
talk
know.
about a couple of different things that you and I have kicked around for
Yeah.
a few different years now
Yeah,
and had an opportunity to do so.
right.
But just a quick shout out to Lydia. She was
Yeah.
on last week.
Yeah, that was fun.
And oh my
That's
God,
fun.
she was on for 2 episodes. One we didn't get to air because unfortunately we had some technical difficulties.
That was a bummer. And she had mentioned being on, like you mentioned her being on twice.
Yeah.
And I was like, when was she on? And then I remembered we had you said that, there was
Yep.
technical, and I was
Yep.
like, oh man, yeah, she was, wasn't she?
But it was so
But
great.
that's
and-
growing pains of the show.
Oh God, I remember those days of being a dumpster fire.
Oh,
But
yeah.
no, it was so much fun. And after we got done with the show last week,
Mhm.
Lydia gave us both ginormous hugs
Yep.
and said, I love how much you guys have grown on the show.
Yeah, because she was our very first
Very
guest.
first guest.
Yeah, it was so cool to have her back after so long. It was like, oh, but yeah, she did. She said that she was very, very proud of us and how far that we've come. And when we first started, we
It was
just knew
rough.
we knew the word podcast. We knew YouTube.
What is podcast?
What is? We did know. But before we get a little bit further into that conversation, we got Kenna joining us. She is our intern on the Survivor Girl podcast.
Shout out.
So
to the
shout out.
Survivors.
She says, hi guys. And hey Kenna, hope you're doing good. Glad. And all of you guys that are in chat, if you want to shout out and say hello, we'll give you a shout out back. We love having you guys joining in, chiming in. And,
yeah, chime in with us.
you
Let
know,
us know you're there so we can
yeah.
give you a shout out.
And if you have any questions, I hate to open this up.
Oh, yeah.
If you have any
Make them
questions,
extra weird because Heather can't
No.
pronounce shit.
no, don't do that to me. No, I'm just saying if you guys have any questions for us, because Tony and I are kind of doing the hot seat kind of thing tonight. We're gonna kind of riff off of a couple things and ask some questions. So if you guys want to go ahead and join in, that'd be cool. Don't make it too weird. For my sanity, no.
It was great. So I got to do dinner, and this is kind of the end of my week.
Okay, all right.
So I got to do dinner with my son tonight, and it was great because he's 17.
Yes, teenage years.
And, most 17-year-old boys, young men,
Right.
I don't want to say young adults,
Yeah,
but
well,
they basically are.
right.
So anyways, I got the chance to have dinner with my son tonight. And
Yeah.
of course we had Subway.
Nice.
But
Nice.
it was great because we were talking, and I love my kids to pieces
Mm-hmm.
because when something's chewing on them,
They talk to you.
they talk to me. They're not like, "Fuck off, Dad. You're old.
I'm
You
just
don't
gonna
know
go to
anything."
my room.
But it was so much
Teenage
fun.
angst.
Right.
Rrr.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Right.
But it was so great because just before the show started,
Mm-hmm.
comes down and he's like, "Hey guys, what's up? Doing
Oh,
your
you're going
podcast
on podcast in 5 minutes.
in
I
5
better
minutes?"
go.
Right. And to this day, it has never been awkward for me to say I love you to my son.
No.
And
no,
him
you're
back.
lucky.
And him back.
Very, very lucky for that.
That's the great part about that. My
Right.
daughter says it,
Yep.
and so on and so forth. And it's great because when they connect with somebody,
Mm-hmm.
they legitimately connect with somebody. I mean, he said, and Nate's like, "Later, Sean. Fuck you, Nate." And then you're like, "Love you, Sean." He's like, "Love you."
Yeah. So even that, like even when I say it to him, he's like, "Love you too."
So
You
getting
know.
the chance to dote on my son because, we hang out, but we don't hang out because he's
Right.
17.
Yeah, he's 17. He's got his own stuff going. He's trying to figure out who he is. and
Right.
Doing that whole teenage thing of growing up.
And
It's so
Tell
crazy
me
because
about
I
it.
came into the picture. It'll be 6 years in July.
holy shit. Where's
And
the time gone?
yeah, I know. But I look back at the first Christmas that I was around,
Mhm.
and like how little they look now, or compared to how they are now.
Oh, yeah.
And back then I think I was taller than then, almost all of them, and now
Yep.
of course I'm not that tall. I'm only 5'1", but back then, but now it's like they tower, and I'm like, oh my god! And I remember Maddie going, I'm never gonna get
grow.
taller. I'm
Yep.
never. And now she can look over the fridge, and I can't.
Right.
It's crazy. It's crazy watching them grow up, but it's
Yeah.
cool seeing them grow up too because, like you said, you can still say I love you to him, and he says it back, and he's a cool kid,
Well,
super
and I
cool
think
kid.
I think that is huge. That instead of pummeling your kids with making them do stuff,
Yeah.
just love them. And some days that's hard as fuck.
I can
to do.
imagine. I can imagine because being a parent, you kind of want to be able to not only just know what's going on in your child's life, but you want to be a part of it. You want to know what all is going on, and you're so used to
Yep.
the younger years when all they want is you. All they
See-
want to do is be with you.
And that's the thing is I hated it. The little screaming baby son of a bitch years. You can have those because
Really?
changing diapers, crying about
Yeah.
whatever.
Because you don't know what they're wanting.
You
or what they're
can't
needing.
communicate with them,
Yeah.
and that shit drives me nuts. I
Yeah.
don't speak, motherfucker, motherfucker. No, tell me what is going on.
Right.
So if I can help, which 9 times out of 10 I can't,
Right.
I'm still going to be here right by your side, and we'll walk through this side by side, arm in arm together.
Right.
And my kids got that at a very young age.
Yeah.
I'm
Because you
go-
want to see them be independent.
Right.
Like you want to see them be able to do the stuff that there's nothing worse than a hover parent,
The helicopter parent.
helicopter parent who does not let them find out who they are, and they want to constantly try to put their influence in on them. Like I am not a mother other than
You're not a
Connor.
mother hoverer.
no. Well, I'm not. I physically can't have kids.
Right.
We already know this. So with Connor, Adam's little boy,
Yeah.
like I want to see. Like I can't personally just say because I've had just a little bit of experience with him,
Right.
so I can't really sit here and go, oh well, this and this and this and this is what I do if I was,
Right.
because I haven't parented or whatever. But I've seen a lot, like growing up with other kids and
Yeah.
things, and how parents were very hovery and how they did everything for their kids, and that doesn't do anything good for them.
You know, one of the best parts about being a parent
Mm-hmm.
is the fact that I can be honest with my kids
Right.
and come back to them and say, I'm sorry, I fucked up. I could have handled that better.
Right. And that is a huge thing.
And they do the same thing to me.
Right.
Because there's been several times, especially with my son.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that boy acts so much like me.
Boy.
Boy.
Yeah.
But we've, it's literally been a clash of the Titans. And I'm just like, I brought you into the world.
I'm gonna take you out.
And that's the thing is we both come back after cooler heads have
Right.
prevailed. And it's like, I was a dick. I'm sorry. Yeah, me too, Dad. I love you.
Yeah.
And it's great because it's not that it's been a knockdown, drag out fight,
Right.
but there was some DB in voice
True.
to where, you stepped on my dick. I'm going to kick you.
All right. I wouldn't have put it that way, but okay. I mean,
that's
I
the
get I
thing,
get you. I get you. I get what you're saying though.
It's that.
Yeah.
That is so shitty to do.
Yeah.
And, I'm guilty of that because if you're going to chest up on me, I'm going to chest up on you. And then it's just
Right.
going to be a big pissing contest,
Right.
which doesn't accomplish anything for anybody. Because if it breaks down
Right.
to the point where it's physical, you've already lost.
True. Yeah.
There
for
is
sure.
no point in further moving in that direction
Yeah.
for that conversation.
Yeah.
Because if you got to get physical, and here's the thing, let the punishment dictate the crime.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Your kid runs out in the street and almost gets hit by a car. Make sure they're safe.
Right.
Beat some wholesale ass.
Yep.
And ask them, what did they learn?
Exactly.
Now, if your kid is sitting there just being a smart mouth,
Mm-hmm.
all right, cool. Manual labor helps all things figured out.
I've heard this before. I've heard this. One of the things that Adam was telling me of growing up, like a lot of one of the lessons that he had to learn was, the whole, I don't know if you ever heard the fence thing. Like his dad had him go out there and pound nails into a
Yep.
fence.
Yep, my grandmother
And-
did that.
Yeah. And, because after those holes are there, like,
You can't take them out. You can't put the
Right.
holes back.
right, you can take the nail out,
You can't fix
but
the
that
hole,
hole
though.
is there. So you really have to be very careful.
What? And that's the
know.
thing is as difficult as parenting is because there's no one how-to manual.
Right.
Because
Oh, no.
every kid is so
No.
different. I mean, what is there? 7.5 billion people on the planet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
I'm trying to remember.
I'm not sure.
But
Yeah.
anyways, the fact remains is that 7.5 billion different perspectives
Yeah,
of what
absolutely.
it's going to take to get through to you
Mm-hmm.
the way that you need to learn,
Yeah.
the way that you need to mature as a healthy adult.
Right.
And
Right.
let's face it, some people just fall through the cracks and no one gives a shit about them.
Right. True.
I was one of them, yet I figured out how to somewhat successfully parent. Look at my kids.
Yeah.
And
Right.
and it's great because I've had other, friends and family members going, how the hell did you figure it out? You were one of the ones that weren't supposed to make it.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
wow.
yeah.
Like right there's a kick in the
And that's the thing is that's one of the things that I want to talk about is what are you passionate about?
right. Oh yeah. Yeah, we were kind of rolling this around and, talking about that passion, that fire, because I get the question a lot of how do you keep on doing this? Like how do you
Right.
put so much stuff in? The one of my favorite questions that I've seen, but it's a hard question, okay? The question that I answered recently was, what do you do?
Oh, yeah. I get that all the time.
What do you do? And then, I go on and I was writing down the stuff because it was on Facebook. So I was like, okay. So I do podcasts. I'm on this one and on Survivor Girl. I help with production for Mitch's. And then I haven't done anything with the This Is My Brain,
But you will.
but I would love to. And I would, yeah. So we do that. We do run the social media stuff, which I definitely could use somebody to help me out with that. It's not that I don't want to continue to keep on sharing stuff. It's just really difficult to get everything out there all of the time. So there's that, and then there's making logos,
Yep.
and there's photography, and then I write, sing,
Yep.
in a band sometimes, and working with Hope, to have our band together.
Yep.
And then I'm respite care licensed. I'm working on my life coaching. I make jewelry.
Up top.
I make jewelry. I do the art thing.
Holy cow! It's Mitch
And
Gill from Mitch's Fake Radio.
Hold that thought.
And Mitch Gill's Get a Room Comedy Club.
Hold that thought. So, I'm going down the line of all these different things.
Right.
And plus working at Bronner's and stuff. And I feel like when I'm listing off all of this stuff,
Yeah.
like I'm like, man, I feel like I'm kind of bragging.
Why?
But it's really not. It's just all that I decided that I wanted to go towards finding different things that I loved.
Of course.
Because when you grow up, you have people saying, okay, what do you want to be when you grow up? But it's just like one, like I have to pick one thing. That's like me saying, okay, I have one favorite movie and one favorite song.
No.
Nah.
It's impossible.
Not at all.
It's impossible.
So, so when I grew up, it was like, okay, I want to get my hands into everything that I possibly can. And that's where like the passion thing comes in.
Yeah.
And the question of not just what do you do, but the question of why do you do so many things? So
because you're schizophrenic.
No, no. Honestly, my answer is because before everything happened with me with the cancer and stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't really live. Like I worked Walmart, I worked third shift, I slept, and that's it. That's pretty much what happened.
Yep.
So after that happened and I got a second chance and then I got another second chance and then I got another second chance, I'm living those. I didn't just piss it away and be like, okay, yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, exactly.
So
you're not just existing.
I put like Matt said when he was here, we're human doings, not human beings.
Exactly.
So anyway, that pretty much, like I said, when that question came up, it was like, I feel like I'm bragging about all this because my list is like, and it keeps on going, but it's because I have that passion and I want to learn more.
Right.
I'm not done.
No, hell no.
By any stretch. So anyway.
Yeah.
So hi, Mitch. I had to finish that or I would have forgotten.
Do you have any scissors?
Yeah, I do have. Hold on.
Scissors.
Scissors by Mitch Gear.
Are we not? Do you not like me anymore? What is happening? So.
What you got there, Mitch?
Whoa.
No crunching munch for you, Heather.
Oh, was that it? That was it? You're mean, man.
Oh, I got a free crunching munch. How's
You
that?
did.
That's fucking awesome. Thanks, Mitch.
Mitch doesn't love me no more. I'm here for my show.
Apparently, the roasting is still continuing.
Oh, man.
That was Mitch.
That was
Gill
Mitch.
from,
Mitch putting the crunch and munch in my face. Evil he is. He literally just ran out of the studio. And I think he really just left. Like, that was it.
Did he just leave? Seriously?
Yeah. Out the door. He don't love me, no. Man. Now the roasting hurts.
Oh, God.
Because I can't have any crunch. Yeah. Yep. Was that even the kind that you liked?
I love crunching munch.
Okay.
Do you want
Alright.
some?
No.
Okay.
I don't want
I will put it over here.
I don't want no crunch and munch.
You don't.
I don't want no, what is that called? Pity. Pity munch.
You don't want any pity munch.
I don't want any of that pity munch.
So, anyways, continue with your list of stuff and what it is that you do, because I've got that question a lot. And when you're done, I want you to toss it over.
Well,
to
I
me.
mean, really, I think I really kind of wrapped it up. I mean, there's more, and there's other things that I want to learn. Like, I've been really interested in the healing properties of the CBD and all that different stuff too. Also wanting to learn, massage therapy and just a slew of stuff. I don't feel like we should be limited to just one thing for the rest of our lives.
Right.
I really don't. I mean, I like going towards everything with that kind of passion and just, yeah, it's kind of crazy. I do kind of have to slow down and decide, kind of to scale it back a little bit. But once you learn something, you just kind of, you always have that there.
Right.
So it's not like I don't have the opportunity to be able to go, okay, well, this week I feel like doing this. But with everything that we do, you really do have to be kind of careful that you don't wear yourself down, and that's happened. And I'm learning that.
Oh yeah,
Like the
absolutely.
hard lesson of it, but I'm learning, just I don't know. It just I think if to be able to really pay homage to having that second chance, I continue to
Yeah.
keep on learning. And I'm 39, going to be 40, and
Why so old?
no, I don't feel like I have to stop. I don't think that there's an age limit to being able to learn things either. And I think that's
Right.
what keeps you kind of on the younger end of it, the younger spectrum, no matter how old you're getting.
Well, there was a saying that I was, God, I don't even know. I was like 17, 18.
Mm-hmm.
And I had one of those old family members.
Youth is wasted on the youth.
Yeah, but you also heard, because you were a musician, you've
Right.
also heard that that's not going to get you anywhere. That's not going to,
Oh yeah.
so you kind of gone against the flow of things and just kind of like,
Every
okay, this
day,
is what I'm going to
baby.
do.
Every day.
Well, growing up with my mom and stuff, like my mom always had the what if.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
what
yeah.
if, anytime that I ever brought anything up, and I'm not saying that that's bad. I would never say anything bad about mom or whatever. But there was always the what if, and it was not because she was afraid of me failing.
Right.
It was because of her not knowing the unknown of
Right.
stuff. And for her, that was very important. And to me, I'm just like, I'm going to take it and I'm going to try, So, I don't know. There's a lot of long laundry list of things that you do as well. But we did have a question in the
What
chat.
is the question?
Jeff is asking, I would like a bus trip to Cedar Point or go to comic book convention. Any chance of doing that in the future? Comic book for sure. Cedar Point, I'm not 100. And we got Tim. Timothy is joining back. We're glad to have you back, man.
Absolutely, brother.
So do you want to go ahead and read his?
Just got here, ghouls and gals. What's the convo about in this anniversary of 99 nailed on the door?
Well, we are kind of going in a different direction tonight. It's just me and Tony hanging out, and we're talking about what are you passionate about, and we're kind of both on the hot seat, kind of going to be interviewing each other.
Yeah.
I kind of went on a tangent on my own there for a minute.
Well,
but it was a question that I was asked recently. So,
yeah. I
you
mean,
know.
I get that a lot with, different community members and,
Yep.
and fellow professionals and whatnot. And they're like, what is it you do? And I'm like, can I give you the list of what it is I don't do?
Let me just pull it. Yeah, let me just pull my list out.
Because, I mean,
Checking it
very
twice.
similar to you. I mean,
Right.
I've been a musician for over 30 years.
Yep.
Podcast co-host, executive producer,
I forgot something.
recording engineer, music producer,
Yeah.
session musician, which is
Yep.
completely different. I play in 3 bands.
Yeah,
It's
That's true.
insanity.
that's true.
I'm constantly I do the life coaching thing. I'm
Yeah.
working on my
Yeah,
third,
you've gotten so much further.
I'm working on my
much better.
third master's certification
That's awesome.
on that. I'm an avid reader.
I remind me to go back to the life coaching thing, because I do have a question about that. So after you get through
Yeah,
your list,
absolutely.
I do have a question for you.
One of the most things that I'm proud of is I'm a single father
Mhm.
of 20 some years.
Yeah.
I have an incredible tribe. I am a VP of a media group.
Yep. You're a
I
VP of Survive to Thrive too. I forgot to
that's
talk
right.
about
Oh yeah,
that.
that's right.
But-
See, one more thing that I forgot.
One more thing I forgot.
I also am a writer.
Yes.
I
You're an incredible photographer too.
I do
Like
photography.
seriously.
I God, the list it goes on with all the crap that we do.
Mhm.
And that's the thing is there's so many different muscles when you're doing this stuff
Mhm.
because you got to get into music brain, you got to get into
Yeah.
photography brain, you
Yeah.
got to get into podcast brain. I mean, good God, I network better than anyone that I know.
Yeah, that is the truth. when we first started hanging out, we would go out to different places, and
Yeah.
like I've not really been super shy, but I I guess kind of, because back then is when I was like at my heaviest, and
Yeah.
I just went through like a whole bunch of like tragic crap. But we'd go out and we'd go and do stuff, and we'd be like, say we went to Big Boy one time.
Yeah.
You just started like striking up this conversation, and I thought it was somebody that you legitly have like known forever. And I was like, oh, so how long have you known that person? And you're like, just now.
Right.
And it's funny because now I do that stuff.
Right.
Like I have these conversations.
Lydia just chimed in and said, Psst, I love you guys.
Psst,
We love you too, Lydia.
thank you for joining us, Lydia.
But yeah,
Yeah. I really legitly thought that you had known this person for your entire life. And I continue to see this, and I continue to learn from you about the networking and stuff. And then when I started getting more comfortable, I was like, oh, yeah, I can do that too.
Here's the
You know?
thing, and I learned this. This is business 101, and I also do finance stuff. I'm a financial advisor.
Yep.
I advise people all the time. I'm constantly doing meet and greets with people.
Yeah.
Helping them better their business.
Yeah.
Just all of this stuff. And here's the funny part about all of that.
Yeah.
How much do you think I get paid to do all of this? Oh, I'm a guitar teacher too.
This?
Most of the time, it's a big fat zero.
Right.
Not because, when the money's good, the money's great.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But
sure.
9 times out of 10, I'm so busy doing things
Yeah.
that the rewards that come out of that, some are monetary,
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
some are resources. I mean, that's the thing. I don't go without meals. My
Right.
kids don't go without
Right.
meals.
Right.
My friends don't go without
Never.
meals. And I'm incredibly thankful for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny, your sphere of influence,
Yes.
family, friends, children, if you don't express your needs and your desires and what you're passionate about, how can they possibly know what you're struggling with?
That's a good point. I guess I never really thought about it that way.
Well, and that's the
You
thing,
know?
is you were just talking about the whole networking thing.
Right.
It takes, what was it, 15 seconds
Mm-hmm.
for you to strike up a conversation and immediately start connecting with somebody.
Oh.
So when you're doing that, 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Okay.
Because when you say hello
Mm-hmm.
or, hey, how's it going?
Right.
I love the movie Patch Adams because they did the thing called the hello experiment.
Yeah.
And it was based on how you said hello.
Mm-hmm.
And you've seen me.
I've seen. Yeah, I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, good God, I'm goofing off in Walmart just because it's me. It's what I do.
Right.
And
right.
people are looking and turning their, they're like,
It's funny.
what the fuck is this guy
It's
doing?
funny the reactions out of people sometimes. But then you realize though, like what realm you are in compared to some other people.
Right.
Like for instance, okay, today, like I walked into the store after I got done with work wearing
Right.
this or whatever. Or no, it was into the bank. And I was just, and yes, it's Halloween. Like any other day of the week,
This is Halloween.
probably wouldn't have got away with it as much, But it was just like, I was like, oh, yeah, I can do this. It's Halloween. I can.
Right.
But to be honest, when I walked into work today,
Mhm.
I've seen very few costumes at first. And I was
Right.
like, oh, shit. I'm that, it's like that. I'm that weird kid.
You're that weird
that
suburban mom.
weirdo, that comes in all dressed up. But there was
Way
a
to go,
ton-
Heather.
There
You-
was actually a lot of people that were dressed up today, which was
Right.
really cool. So after that, I was just like, yeah, I'm cool. I fit in with the cool kids. But I mean, you never really know though until you go out and you do your own thing or whatever, and then you see like the impact, like you're saying, on other people.
Right. Right.
Got a lot of people just smiling or whatever from the costume or whatever.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you just gotta just be yourself.
You have to
go and
create
do
your
it.
own humor
Yeah.
sometimes.
Oh, for sure.
And I cannot tell you how Nate and I will
Yeah.
go to Walmart, or me and Sean will go to Walmart, or me and Maddie will go to Walmart, and we'll dick off in the aisles.
Yeah.
And it's funny because seeing how our shenanigans
Mhm.
have affected other people.
Yeah.
It takes what? Some good Lord. It's like a nanosecond thing to go through and smile.
Right. Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that is so infectious.
Hmm. Absolutely.
And here's the thing. I struggle with things mentally and emotionally
Mhm.
so much. I mean, I have anxiety. I have, I'm sure there's some sort of depression floating around in there.
Yeah.
But the fact remains is that you can either stay in here
Yes.
and keep reinforcing the fact that you have a shitty visualization of who you are,
Hmm.
Or you can go, how do I see myself?
Yeah.
And how can I work towards that? Because here's the thing, until this, and I'm going to drop some truths for some people that need to hear this.
Yeah.
And I'm not being a belligerent dick.
Right. Okay.
These are the truths that you need to hear. Until you get your mental and emotional inventory together, you're still going to be a fat, lazy piece of shit who is not driven to do anything and playing the victim card. Get your head right in that. Because here's the thing. You want to lose weight? Fine. Put down the cheeseburger. Go do some push-ups.
Right.
You want to get a better job? Cool. Start putting in applications. Or here's an idea. Create your own job.
Right. Right.
You want to get motivated? Cool. Start hanging around people that kick
Motivate.
your ass. You want to be smarter? Pick up a book.
Yeah.
That's what
It's-
I had to do.
It's about doing.
Right.
And
Be a
but-
human doing.
But there is that fear, though. You know, we've all had it. We've
Right.
all had that fear where we're just like, okay. With that fear comes that self-loathing, that self in your way.
You preach to the choir.
Or we start talking about it. We always talk about it.
Right.
We talk so much about, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm
Right.
going to do this. But have you noticed, though, when you take the chance and you actually go ahead and just start doing something?
Let me ask you something
Okay.
real quick before you finish that
Okay,
point.
go ahead.
How many times have you failed at doing something?
Oh, several.
Okay.
I mean, hundreds probably, millions, whatever.
Where did you learn from your failures?
I learned from failing the way that I went about it. I got a new plan put together.
Right. So
You know.
did that stop you from being successful?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Was it more for adding fuel to you wanting to be successful?
Absolutely. Every time.
Did it make you hungrier?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So you're saying failures are a part of life to push you into your success.
I think so. Yeah, for sure.
Me too.
For sure.
That's the thing. Going back to what we were talking about at the beginning of the show, is from my own family members hearing that I was one of the ones that wasn't supposed to make it.
Right. Right.
Yet, here I am.
Right.
You know, and I deal with the internal struggles. However, the fact remains is that look at the laundry list of shit that I just listed off and the things that I'm doing. I'm passionate about. I am so much more fulfilled about going to bed at night, put my head on the pillow,
Yeah.
and going, I'm exhausted and I'm without sleep because I'm passionate about doing something.
Right.
I'm so fulfilled that I'm exhausted from being passionate about the things that I do,
Right.
as opposed to, I got to get up at 8 a.m.
I gotta punch in.
and punch in.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
Some people that works for, they need those routines.
Yeah.
But if you are an empty shell of who you are, go do something better.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. I love that saying, YOLO, you only live once. That's bullshit. Because you only
Yeah.
die once. You live every day.
Yeah,
So what are you doing
Absolutely.
to live today? Scare the shit out of yourself
Right.
and find your passion. It's not that complicated. And it's
No.
the most difficult thing you'll ever do in your life, but you will never regret a day of being passionate about and going to bed that night and being exhausted because you were passionate about doing something.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100% on that. I mean, I before I had met you and we started hanging out and I got to learn all of the different things and seeing, meeting different people, all of the behind the scenes, singing, all of the stuff that I was really super passionate about, but I didn't know how to start. I didn't know where to
Right.
go. So pretty much I feel like first it started when I got the divorce. And then I started to get out of my comfort zone because I was learning a
Right.
whole new way of life. And then after that, when things happened and, I got scared shitless. I had two different things that
Right.
could have ended me.
Yeah.
And thank God it didn't, because I was here and I'm able to learn all the different stuff that I'm learning now.
Well, and let me ask you something. Based off your successes, and how many did you have to have before you started feeling confident?
How many? Go ahead again. Sorry, I was looking. There was some stuff going on in chat, so I
Catch
know,
us up in chat
okay,
real quick.
Then save that for a minute.
Yep.
So Lydia said you'd be amazed at what a box of severed finger Halloween cookies does for an office full of people. LOL. Which I agree with her because it was cool seeing like everybody.
Yeah.
It was childlike. It was a fun day, so I hope that you had a lot of fun there too. Dad said, "I wonder how Houdini's ghost is doing tonight." Oh my God! Hi, Dad.
No skin.
Glad
on.
you're here. Tim says, "Watching on mobile." Timothy, Tim, can I just call you Tim?
Tim.
If that's cool with you, man. Watching on mobile and got delayed audio, moving to laptop, and then he said, "Don't say anything else deep and poignant."
Poignant.
Don't do that to me, man. Don't do that. Well, I'm gone. There you go. Hope you missed that. So what was the question again? Sorry.
Okay, so you start having successes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now it's a constant catalyst and a chain cause and effect reaction.
Yeah.
You have successes, you feel more confident about yourself.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
You do more things, you have more successes, you have more failures, you feel more confident about yourself.
True.
I'm one of the worst people for that.
Okay.
Because getting motivated when you're stuck in here
That's hard.
is some of the most difficult things for me.
In fact, it's bullshit sometimes.
It straight up is because I am my own worst enemy.
Yeah.
Constantly bombarding myself with all the shit that people told me. You're not good enough. You should have been aborted. You're not a priority. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you were the consolation prize. Whatever.
What kind of anyway, that's another.
The point that I'm getting at is the amount of successes that I've had in my life.
Yeah.
I still consider minuscule because I want to do so many more things.
Right.
Now, when you look at the stuff that I've done, people be like, holy shit, this guy has literally been here, there,
Yeah.
and everywhere.
Yep.
Knows fucking everybody.
Right. Not a joke even. Not even a stretch.
But that's the thing is I want to do more. I want to do better. I want to be a better human being. I want to get my head space in the right space. I want to get my heart space in the
hard.
right space.
Yeah.
And pushing myself to be around more successful people.
Right.
I mean,
that's what they say.
you look at the fact of, okay, where do you go to get your hair cut?
Just depends.
Well, do you go to a mechanic to get your hair cut?
No.
You go to a
You
hairstylist,
go to, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to learn how to be a millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you go hang out with?
Millionaires.
Right. You want to learn to be a life coach.
We hang out with other life coaches
Right.
or mentors.
That's my point.
Mhm.
Get a mentor. I have one of the coolest mentors on the face of the planet, and I need to go hang out with him again because it's been a minute because life happens.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But that is no excuse.
Right. Right.
Get your shit together. And I'm saying that because I'm actually preaching to myself because I struggle with this stuff every day. Yet I get up and I'm a human doing. I'm doing this stuff. And there's days that I really don't want to get out of bed.
Yeah.
But you got to get up and you got to do it because no one else is going to do it for you. I mean, I think it's so hilarious that people are like, why do you never sleep?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And it's like, well, I can't do it to anybody else. They won't let me.
Tim is joining us again.
Okay.
Laptop account, audio still out of sync. Production guys, OCD. Sorry, man. We generally aren't out of sync, so I don't know what's
I
happening
don't know
here.
what's going on here.
It could be this shitty weather.
I'm
I don't know.
assuming it.
It's hard to say. There, like we said before, there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes, so it's kind of hard on the fly when things
Yeah.
are off. And I don't really want to be like Godzilla movie like after the fact, but I guess that's where we're at tonight.
The show
So,
must go on.
The show must go on. But what was the question though that you had asked me?
How many successes or failures did you have before you started building your confidence?
No, I mean, every day there's
Mhm.
either been, there's got to be a failure to be able to be successful, I believe.
Well, and that's the
Honestly,
thing. Is the
and-
more that you're doing, I think.
Yeah, because okay, so a lot of stuff I learn on YouTube. I read a lot of I read a lot of books, but I also
Audiobooks, YouTube, look it up.
well, not just that, but because I do crafting and different stuff too. But I go on YouTube to learn a lot of the things that I learn.
Yeah, absolutely.
But do you think that I get it like the first time around?
Good God, no.
Sometimes. Sometimes I do, but
It's funny you say
not
that.
often.
I mean, obviously, our listening audience sees the books behind you. And
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I've read, if not all of them, the
Yeah.
majority,
I
like
haven't.
7/8 of them. I struggled with reading comprehension forever.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You mean like growing up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, me too.
The funny
Me
part
too.
about it, you know what got me into reading and looking up words.
What's that?
I started playing Dungeons and Dragons
Oh,
when I was
yeah.
a kid.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
of course, coming from an oppressed, religious upbringing, that's the devil. Why are you reading that? There's a demon on the
Yeah.
cover. And
I
I'm
think
going,
we've all of us that have played it. have
I'm
heard.
learning to read.
That's Dungeons and Dragons is well. If you look at a lot of actors and a lot of people out there in Hollywood,
Right.
a lot of them started out doing Dungeons and Dragons. Actually,
It's a creative outlet.
it is.
Plus,
really.
if you want to learn how to play the game, you kind of have to read.
you kind of have to.
And I love that fantasy sci-fi element.
Right.
I mean, obviously, I got into it to escape my reality, which was bullshit. But
Right.
still, it was one of those things that it was a creative outlet that I learned how to walk around in and problem solve. So yeah,
Right.
it just made it that much better because I didn't have to worry about getting things in real life because I was still trying to go through and figure out how to navigate my own life. What are you pointing at?
Keys.
Keys. Das Keys. But yeah, I mean, I forced myself to read because I wanted to learn how to play D&D.
Right.
And, some of the words in there didn't really make a whole lot of sense to me at that point in time. Damn it, why can't I do this job?
Right on the big screen. Oh yeah.
But as I started reading and they came out with different, versions,
Mm-hmm.
I started to read a little faster. I started to comprehend a little better.
Yeah.
Because I was the kid that, I could read a paragraph 27 times in a row.
And still,
Have no idea what it was about.
it wasn't for me. It wasn't that I didn't comprehend it.
Right.
But if somebody else was like talking or there was other like in school reading and stuff was just miserable because with other people talking around me, like I'd have to restart that sentence over and over and over. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just looking at the chat.
The chat, Tim. Run hard after life. That way when you trip and fall, it's at least forward and still making progress. Just practice how to bounce back from the falls faster.
That's good stuff.
That
right
is
there.
good stuff, man. That is good stuff. And Lacey is joining in.
What? Lacey chimed in.
Yeah, Lacey Richmond.
Lacey.
Without your failures, you really can't appreciate the successes. And I agree.
That is
I
so
agree
true.
with
So
both of you
true.
guys. Like absolutely. I mean, this journey has been just incredible, and there's
Yeah.
been so many different working or moving parts with it.
Well, I look at it when we first initially started cultivating our friendship. You were
Mhm.
in the garage.
Yeah.
And this was what, after 4 or 5 months?
Of hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were out there playing guitars and stuff.
Hmm.
And you busted out Sweet Home Chicago.
I did. Yep.
And I stopped because you kind of scared me for a minute. I'm like, where did that come from? And we're going into the studio to record. I don't know
Right.
what the fuck we're recording,
But we're recording.
but we're recording.
We did some pretty cool stuff.
And that's my point is
Mhm.
that hidden talent that you had that I didn't realize you could sing.
Well, and it
And the more you do it, the better you get.
right. Well, so growing up, I come from a very like artistic musical family.
Yeah.
Like just anything you could think of.
Absolutely.
Like on my mom's side, we have inventors. I mean, it's really cool. My dad's an artist, a musician.
Mhm.
My mom was a musician. I mean, she played keyboard and stuff like that. She sang. She had a really cool voice.
Right.
She also painted ceramics and crocheted and made all kinds of stuff. Like it was always cool growing up in the house because he had mom and my dad and my brother just so talented. So it was awesome because I got to learn a lot of really cool
He's wicked
stuff.
smart.
Oh my gosh, like crazy.
Yeah.
But it was really cool because my brother and myself both really got those talents from
Mhm.
my mom and my dad. And
Absolutely.
it's been cool because it was kind of split down the middle.
Yeah.
I'm not so much of it. I don't really instrument as much. I could
You
if
don't instrument.
No, I mean I could if I really did put my mind to it and I sat
Right.
down, And my dad's really good at photography. My mom was really good at photography. I mean, just really cool stuff.
Yeah.
And like my dad had this whole theory, spark theory, that you get sparks like come down from like your different relatives or whatever, pieces of them into you.
Absolutely.
And I feel like I got really lucky with that because I learned a lot of really cool stuff. Plus, my dad's really handy and stuff, so I got to build stuff with him.
Yeah.
And he's a great cook, so I got to learn that. My mom was good at cooking and baking. My life is very fulfilled from, my family and all the stuff that I learned growing up through them.
That was another thing
You
I
know?
needed to add it to the list was
What's-
baker, cooker.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, apparently some of the dishes that I make are pretty legendary.
Oh yeah, yeah, and it's been fun because we get to sometimes come together and be like,
Oh God, yeah.
here's some of what I made.
The tuna dip.
Yeah, the tuna dip kind of came together from both of us. But I mean, like that one time, Jeremy had come up, and
Yeah.
there was a house full of people. Then I ended up making like potato soup, and then
Yeah.
the breadsticks and the
great
garlic
stuff.
stuff I
Yeah.
learned the garlic stuff from my dad. That dip,
Yep.
So it's awesome to be able to have that stuff.
Mhm.
Another thing too is after going through the stuff that we've gone through and the failures and stuff that we've
Yep.
had, like Lacey said on there, the successes are so much more rewarding.
Yeah. I mean, I look at it when I used to do telemarketing.
Yeah.
I thought it was really funny because apparently I have a voice for radio and being a telemarketer. I'm not
Yeah.
quite sure what that means, but whatever.
Not a face for
I don't have a face for radio. But
okay.
that's right. Tuning into
Right.
silky smooth sounds of the
Oh.
quiet storm.
I'm cringe. You're making me cringe over here.
But no, it was funny because with all of the things that I've done in my professional career, knowing how to talk to people has been the hugest thing.
Oh, it's a big thing.
Because I still don't know how to talk to people.
Right.
All of this is coming from insecurities and what if I say something and that person laughs at me?
Yeah.
Fucking run with it.
Just do it. Like, yeah. That fear, that damn fear.
Right. Oh,
I
yeah.
get so mad at fear because it holds you back.
It's a hell of a motivator.
It keeps you but it can be.
Mhm.
So that's where you got to switch it up because
Right.
a lot of that fear in my life has held me back so bad. Jeremy chimed in and said that was a great meal. Thank you. And Tim
Absolutely.
says that a monster manual from a set of 4.1 rolls over Heather's left shoulder.
Yep.
Oh,
it's
yep,
right there.
Yeah, good eye, man. Good eye.
But, yeah.
But
good.
the fear thing though, and I know a lot of us because we're human, go through that though.
Last time I checked.
Right. So another thing too that I kind of had a conversation over the weekend about was that not just the fear, but going forward and just doing, just doing instead of letting your head get in your way. And we
Yeah.
talked about that. We both have kind of dealt with, I don't want to come out and say like mental illness,
Oh, I have.
but okay, so you. But I mean, I've dealt with depression. I've dealt with anxiety also.
Yep.
There's different things. But I think because we are in such a fast-paced world,
Yeah.
and it's a lot to process sometimes.
Well, I mean,
It's a
when
lot.
you look at it, I was diagnosed of having it was general anxiety and panic disorder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't pay much tribute to that, but I mean there is some merit to it.
Okay.
When it feels like you're having a heart attack, but yet your heart's just fine.
Horrible.
Oh God, it's ridiculous. But the fact remains is that I've done a lot of research and trying to figure out how to navigate myself.
Yeah.
What's going to motivate me? And fear is a huge thing that motivates me.
That's a good way to to flip it.
Right.
Is to let it motivate you instead of holding you back. And I've also noticed that with getting out of the way, that was one thing that we talked about quite a while back.
Absolutely.
Is getting out of your own damn way.
Oh my God.
I was notorious for standing in my own way.
Sabotaging
I would let
yourself.
little things fester and turn into way worse of a situation. I still have some issues sometimes with the whole assumption stuff,
Right.
But I'm learning how to talk about it, and get out of my own way more because you miss out on so much.
Well, and that's the thing is, I mean, with me,
Sliding in my chair.
you're good. If you're going to fail, fail. Get it done and out of the way. That's one more failure that you don't have to deal with and one step closer to success. I mean, how many times have we done this show? And it's been an absolute dumpster fire.
We've had some.
From
I mean,
whether it was
has.
technical issues,
Yeah.
whether
yeah.
it was guests.
Yeah.
And I'm not ragging on guests, but sometimes they're just
Sometimes it happens. I mean, but that's part of you get mixed in with different people and their agendas and what they're doing. It's
But you're doing a
Yeah.
live show.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
the thing, is you have to understand the art of conversation. And you're
Yes.
not driving it forward, you're letting it flow naturally.
Yeah.
And so many things, from doing the telemarketing,
Which I did
from-
too.
Right.
Horrible.
Yeah.
I hated
You
that
you want to
job.
learn how mean, sick, and nasty the human
Hated it.
race is? Go do telemarketing.
Or
And because it's your job, you have to be nice.
yeah, well, yes. When I worked for DTE, like you could not get off of the phone with them. If you got off the phone,
Yeah.
you were done. Like you were cut.
Oh yeah.
I worked at a different place where I was a telemarketer. And if they were being ignorant and belligerent towards you, you could actually say, "Please do not talk to me that way."
Yeah.
And if they continued, you could actually hang up on them.
What you got going on over there?
So I don't know if this is private or not. I hope not. But Mitch messaged me and said, "I still love you. I'm just messing with you. I like what you said about being a human doing instead of a human being because I love doing what I love to do. It always seems like I have to bust my ass to get it done.
Right.
Failures happen all the time for me, and I deal with them, and they usually wind up making me a little better, a little stronger." So that's cool. That's really cool, Mitch. And I do love you too, man.
That's why we love Mitch.
Yeah, very cool. But
He's building an empire.
he's building an empire. So, but you were talking about if you want to see genuine like evil work at
Do telemarketing.
do telemarketing.
Do it for 1 month. I challenge you. And the reason why I have these experiences is because I struggled through the 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody told me, go get a job, go to college, get married, have the white picket fence, have the 2.5 cats, have the
Yeah.
3.5 kids, have the 2 cars, have the jet ski, have the
I
boat.
hate that.
None of that shit matters.
Okay. So speaking of that and going on, well, you have to do this, and you have to do this, and you have to do that. Like nothing in my life has been by the textbook.
Oh, yeah.
And you feel that huge pressure of having to do these things.
Right.
And now I'm unable to do like some of them things. Like
Right.
I can't have kids.
Right.
And I hate that when people are like, "When are you having kids?
Mhm.
When are you guys gonna stop that shit."
I want you to,
Stop that
all
shit.
the listening and viewing audience that we have,
Mm-hmm.
I want you to do this tomorrow morning, the second you wake up, or if you're, getting ready to go to bed after this.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you wake up, I want you to ask yourself this one question and answer it unapologetically. What is it I want? What is it that I truly want?
Mm-hmm.
And then scare the shit out of yourself
And do it.
and go get it.
Yep. Because you're never going to. You're always going to be just almost reaching it if you do not get out of your own way and you do not ask that honestly. I mean, really.
You brought up a very valid point to revisit, but to go on another tangent.
Mm-hmm.
We got into this. We had no idea what the hell we were doing.
Not a clue.
Everything that we've done here, we've had to teach ourselves
Yep.
and navigate when we were pissed off at each other, when we were frustrated because nothing was going right.
Yeah.
The video and audio were out of sync.
Yeah. I mean, it happens.
Right.
Anytime you're working with technology or, like everything that we're doing, that stuff just happens. And in the beginning, like I used to get so pissed, so frustrated,
Yep.
and the sky was falling. Things were just, I was so stressed
Chicken
out
Little.
by it. But now, so it was kind of a reality for me.
Right.
We went downstate and we were down at the man cave, and Survivor Girl was
Supposed to go live. Yep.
Was supposed to go live, And it just, for whatever reason, everything that could go wrong was going wrong that night. Everything that went right the day before.
Yeah.
But it ended up just not working for our show. Normally, I would have used to like just freak out.
Oh.
I would have been beating myself up. I would have been beating myself up for something
I'm over it.
I had no control over, and stressing out and like
Absolutely.
making myself sick. But I don't do that crap anymore.
Right.
I don't. I mean, a little bit sometimes. It does still happen because I am an overthinker.
We've I don't know whether it's an old saying or new saying. I don't really care.
Right.
But we've started this thing over the past few months of I'm not picking it up.
That is a good place to put your head at. I kick shit under the rug.
If it's not
It's
yours,
not mine.
don't fucking pick it up.
You don't need it. You don't need the stress. I mean, okay, so I've noticed with Facebook, I'm always getting messages. always not messages, but notifications of something that's being, and then I get into these tangents and I'm looking through everything and I'm watching on the walls and then I see like, woe is me shit. I see just drama and death and I mean there's a lot on there. It's today's news. I don't watch news. It is what it is.
Right.
But I've noticed I've kind of started to step away from it because it stresses me out. It stresses me out.
It's funny you say that because I've had an amazing catalyst of technology beyond frustrating me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I noticed something. My phone has been janky forever.
Yeah.
And it's funny because when I start getting stressed out and pissed off because my phone keeps resetting, it's like, well, obviously you're not meant to do that right now. So I go do something else.
Yeah. We
And
used to.
funny thing happens.
You get shit accomplished and you're not
In a shit
worried.
mood
Yeah.
because you're picking all this shit up that you don't need to pick up.
Oh, for sure.
Lacey chimed in and what did she say?
Tacos.
She said tacos. I love tacos.
Tacos.
Tacos is the nectar of the gods.
But it. Okay, so yesterday I was on the road and I did the whole pat myself down looking for my phone. I left it at home and I didn't
Really?
realize it. I was in such a hurry
Right.
that I left my phone at home. And at first, I'll be honest with you, I started having anxiety.
That's a
did.
legitimate thing now.
I really did. I started having anxiety about not having my phone on me.
Right.
But then after I stopped for a minute, I had access if I needed to get a hold. Like, I was with Hope. She had her phone.
Yeah.
I was able to message and be like, Adam, I left my phone at home. I love you. So there was, if you need to get a hold of me.
Yeah.
Other than that, I will see you when I get home.
Well, look at the days of the Pony Express. People didn't hear from each other for
Oh, yeah.
6 months.
Yeah, can you imagine? Like, we don't do that now. But we take it for granted, though.
Here's the thing.
do.
If you don't answer a text message or a phone call or something within those 3 nanoseconds,
People get free.
why the fuck you ain't answer my call?
Yeah.
Wait, whoa.
No.
How about the fact that, I don't know, maybe I was taking a shit and I'm
maybe
pretty sure you didn't want to hear me pinching one off.
me time,
Right. Maybe I'm rubbing one out. Do you really want to hear that? I don't think so.
Nobody does.
But
No.
that's my point, though, is instead of getting offended, get over it. Don't
Yeah.
pick it up. It's not yours.
It's really not. I mean, but it's so easy because we live in that society of not just wanting it now, but the entitlement, and we get so easily hurt these days about
I
so
don't.
many. I'm just saying. I'm
Yeah.
speaking in general.
No, I get it. I get it.
But really though, because we have that complete gratification
Instant
now.
gratification.
There we go. Thank you. You have that instant gratification.
Right.
And then we have all of these anxieties and fears and shit now. Like you said, people don't answer. Oh my God, are they mad?
Right.
Are they mad at me? Is something wrong? Did they die?
Right.
Like,
Right.
it's crazy. It's fucking crazy. So I'll be honest. Like, I got on my phone when I got home.
Yeah.
But I was just like,
Meh.
I didn't really miss. Like,
Kind of over it.
yeah,
Mm.
kind of. Just because it was nice to kind of have a date, but you also
Yeah.
are like, oh, we're out looking around at stuff, and I'm like, oh, I could take a picture. Shit, I don't have my phone.
Right.
I can't take a picture. I can't.
I'm the same
Everything is
way.
at our fingertips, though. And it's
Well,
it's
but I
just
mean,
crazy.
what happened to? I mean, we're childs of the '80s.
Yes.
Okay. What happened to just taking in that picturesque sunset.
Without having to
Or watching a
document it.
field full of fireflies, knowing full well that you should have been home because the street lamps are out.
Right. Oh, that's so beautiful.
That's my point.
We miss these breathtaking moments,
Right.
Because we're capturing too much shit
Right.
instead of it being in here.
And,
know.
I know I'm beyond frustrated with my phone and I miss a lot of conversations
Right.
and poignant things for that day.
Right.
But it's so funny when I've had an extra frustrating day with my phone,
Yeah.
I'm still creating memories because I'll go for a walk
Right.
or I'll hop in the car and go tool around at the store to get grocery lists and stuff
Right.
done.
Yeah.
Or be in the mobile office
Yeah.
going, hey, I'm on my way to my appointment. My phone's being fucking stupid. So I'm going to jam out to the radio.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I enjoy that in the mornings. Like, that's one of my things. I'm not on my phone when I'm driving.
What did
I
somebody else
don't.
chime in the chat?
Don't know.
Yeah, Tim chimed in and said, I want a 137
137
million LARP park on an 80-acre working ranch in Oklahoma, themed after the riders of Rohan, with Rivendell Food Court and Shire Welcome Center.
What? Yes.
Dude, make that
meantime-
happen.
In the meantime, who's up for doing Throwback 4.1 only D&D campaign? Steam once a month. Heck yeah, man.
Dude,
I like it.
that is incredible.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, hit us up after
I'm
the
in.
show. We've
I'm
got
in.
some great ideas.
I will pay somebody $5 to make my character for me, though.
No, Nate's got a great app for that.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I have to be honest. I love playing.
Character.
Hate character creation.
God, it sucks.
I hate it. I should love it. I should. But I did make a really awesome character and somebody threw it away.
Yeah, Tessie Turner.
They're still alive.
Let's have a moment for Tessie Turner.
Bum, bum, bum. but anyway though, I mean, I don't know. Life gets out of hand. It gets way out there sometimes.
At the end of your life,
Mhm.
what is it that most people say? I should have done this more. I should have did that. Right.
Mhm.
Okay. Stop being that person when you get to the end of your life, doing the shouldas and just going and fucking doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, good God, how many adventures have you and I gone on?
Oh, several.
Because, well, we were like, my headspace isn't in the right space, or I'm hungry. You want to go grab something to eat,
Yeah.
or go grab some Bigby bitch?
I mean, yeah, there was always all kinds of times when we were just like, okay, let's get out of here for a minute, because back then we were developing our friendship, and I mean, we've been through a lot together.
Oh, good.
I
God.
met you a week. Was it a week before? No, a week after I got diagnosed. No, a week before I got diagnosed.
Yep.
Wait.
Yeah, it was a week before. Because remember,
Yes.
you had called
It
me.
was a week before, and then
You're like, I'm going in for my surgery.
Yeah, it was.
And I'm
that
like,
was
what surgery?
the crazy. Well, you already knew because your mom had like prayed over me about finding out that I had cancer and stuff, and that
Yeah.
everything was going to be good. But when we first started talking, like I knew you like a week, and then I found out what was going on.
Yep.
And it was pretty heavy because I was diagnosed a week from my mom, and we
Yep.
both were diagnosed.
Yep.
And man, that was a kick in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
It was a kick in the ass, but I look back now. It's been 5 years. I have been blessed with after surgery,
Mhm.
so 5 years of cancer free, and
That's awesome.
but since
Up top. What are you doing?
Anyway, there we go. Since that had all happened, though, and I talk about the second chances and everything.
Yeah.
So many things have changed in my life.
So many things.
I talked about it a lot. I talked
Mhm.
about a lot of things.
Mhm.
But I put them in motion too, though. Like I
Yeah.
didn't just sit on the fact of talking, and that was all that was
Mhm.
happening. Just I'm crazy. I jump.
You
I
are-
jump up. Or
We're going to the moon.
pretty much. Like I don't know how many times I come through the studio door and
Yep.
I'm just like, "Hey guys, this
Yep.
is what we're doing,"
Yep.
and you guys just look at me like, "Oh man, how many big B's has she had today? Like what is going on
Yeah, because
now?"
you're straight lit up.
Oh yeah, but that's that passion.
And that's what
You
I'm
know?
getting at. Is
Yeah.
somebody comes to me with an
Yeah.
idea, And sometimes it's fleshed out, sometimes it's not. And it's like, okay, the first question I ask them is, what are you doing about it?
Right.
What are you doing to make it happen?
That's a great question.
And, I ask myself that every day when, I'm doing your morning routine, getting a shower, brushing your teeth, starting your day.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I ask myself in the mirror. And it probably sounds ridiculous, but get in your own face.
Yeah.
What are you doing about it?
That's what I do. Bitch, what you want? No, just kidding.
Right,
Just
exactly.
kidding.
Come at me. But no, seriously.
I don't think we are comfortable sometimes with asking ourselves what we want. I don't think that we kick ideas around and then we get into that mindset because we've been raised or it's just society norm to instantly think, no, I can't achieve that, or it's too much money, or I don't have the means, but if you really, really, really want it, you'll get it. You'll go after it.
Here's the inevitability. Unless you are a homeless person or you have a cabin in the middle of nowhere, you're going to have to pay bills.
True.
Sorry to break it to you, but you're going to have to.
Very true.
But guess what? You get the choice of determining how you pay those bills. You can either do it begrudgingly or, hey, I have a job.
Yeah.
I have a tribe, a support system that empowers me to get the money to go pay those bills.
Yeah.
And if you're a religious person or a believer, if you will, thank God that he gave you the intelligence to go get that job to get the paycheck.
Right.
And you know what? Be thankful.
Yeah, because you are able to have those things.
Right.
Like you have electricity and gas and internet and phone and all that stuff. Yes. I'm not a big fan of going, oh man, I got to pay bills. We've all thought that.
Of course.
But
Everybody thinks
We're using it and we're able to. We have the home to be able to have those things.
Exactly.
You're right. You're right.
You have a mortgage? Cool.
important.
Go pay it. Because eventually one day you won't have to.
Yeah. You'll be done with that.
You got a car? Got a car note? Got a car insurance? Cool.
Take
Go
care
pay
of
it.
Yeah.
Walk in there being this freaking
Thankful.
person from another planet with a smile on your face. I'm happy to pay my bill. How are you doing? Because here's the thing. Those people work very hard at their jobs.
Yeah.
And all they hear every single day, why are you turning my shit off? Well,
Oh,
you didn't
God,
pay your bill.
yes. Oh my God, yes.
If you don't pay your bill, there's nothing I can do
Right.
because you didn't pay your bill.
However, I have found that when you are going through some tough times, that if you do actually call and talk to some of these places,
Right.
they can help you to get situated before it gets too bad. I know sometimes,
Right.
like I've been there, and it's embarrassing as shit sometimes to have to call and find out. But it's better than sitting in the dark or
Well,
you know,
communicate.
yeah,
Communicate your struggles to
Yeah.
the people that you need to communicate them to. And aside from that, don't worry about the people that don't need to know your business.
Mm-hmm.
I have made it a point over the past 10 years of my life. I'm gonna ruin the surprise for you guys.
Oh no.
If you want to know how I'm doing, just ask.
I hate when you do that. Curl. Ugh.
Not that complicated.
And a more
Just
quieter
ask.
note, just ask. There you
Just ask.
go. Use your insight.
Hey Tony, how you doing? Don't go to Tom, Dick, and Harry and
It's Tom, Dick, and Carrie.
right, exactly. Don't go to those people.
Ask me.
Ask me.
Right.
And if you're so consumed about my personal life,
Mhm.
guess what? It's none of your business. It's my personal life.
Right.
But that's the thing. If you're legitimately concerned about how my well-being is doing, just ask.
Right.
It's not that complicated. Hey, and I think that's one of the, to move to our next point.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that people forget to do. They forget to legitimately go, hey, how you doing?
Right.
You doing okay? You seem a
Right.
little off today. And if I'm incorrect in observing that,
Right.
cool. Ask me how I'm doing. You know, because you never know.
Right.
If you're
It's-
having a shit day, cool. All right, let's talk about it. If you don't want to talk about it, cool. Can I make you dinner?
Yeah. I mean, really, I have my times where I'm like, we all have our moments when we're off.
Absolutely.
But I express it. It's like, hey, man, I'm off. No, I don't really want to talk about it, but I'm just letting you know where I'm at. So if you try to get a hold of me and you don't hear me, I'm just working through my process.
And don't abuse someone when they're trying to work through their process.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the worst things is being pushed on or whatever. And, you know, that's hard when you're working your process in your own way.
Lacey chimed in and said, embrace the crazy. It just makes life more interesting.
Oh, doesn't it, though?
I love her to pieces.
Doesn't it, though? I mean, really, we're all our own kind of crazy.
But yeah, I mean, you know, have the respect and the common courtesy to go, are you okay? If you're not okay, cool. Can I make you dinner? Don't keep picking away at it.
Right.
And if they're not okay and they choose to open up to you, listen.
Right.
Don't be like, well, you know what I would do. No, it's not about what you would do because you're not the one that's struggling with it.
Right. Right.
It's that person. Give them a very wide berth to go, let me work my process.
And that's one thing too, like, you know, with us being friends, as long as we've been friends,
Right.
like we're both kind of the same.
Don't mom me.
That hate that for one.
Got
But I'm saying because when we have people firing at us,
All the time.
questions,
All the time.
we both just kind of like I personally am just like, okay, I'm gonna go in this corner, leave me alone. Like I don't do well with that, and I don't answer until I'm ready to answer.
See, and I don't know whether it's just the kind of person that I am, but I put it out straight up, honest.
Yeah.
Okay. If you want something to be wrong with me, keep picking at me.
Right.
If you don't, then drop it.
Right.
I will come to you. Anybody that knows me knows when I'm struggling with something.
Yep.
I will go to one, maybe two people
Right.
to get their insight. And after that,
then you work your own process. You
Right.
work through it, you know. And if it's something that you don't want to talk about, and like I said, we're both kind of the same way in that. It's
Right.
Just, and that's how I find when I'm going through stuff. I will talk to a couple people. I don't
Right.
always talk to everybody about it.
Right.
And if I'm quiet, it's generally because I'm just working through. It's nothing. I'm not trying to not talk to certain people. It's just I need to work on me.
And that has helped me so much with my success and being passionate about what I'm passionate about.
Right.
Because when you're around healthy people, it teaches you how to be healthy. It teaches you how to get your mental and emotional inventory together
Right.
of this person's successful.
Right.
They're passionate. They have a healthy balance
Right.
of, okay, struggling with this. Cool. This person helped me with that.
Right.
This person was struggling with this. They helped me with that.
Mhm.
And in kind, you do the same thing. I mean, Lydia, oh my God, I adore Lydia to pieces. She says to me, and I'm not trying to tell tales out of school, and I won't go
Right.
into detail,
Right.
but she's like, you guys are the most amazing friends a girl could have.
Aw,
And we feel the exact same way. We love you
sure.
to pieces, Lydia.
for sure.
But, you know, it's one of those things that regardless of what the hell you're going through,
Mm-hmm.
do shit on purpose. Be passionate about it. Be thankful that someone went, hey, you doing okay?
That is another thing I do want to talk about.
Yeah, go ahead.
Before we end, because we're geting close.
Are you serious? Is it
It's already
time?
been that time.
Holy shit, man.
So one of the things that I kind of wanted to touch on really quick is,
Yeah.
when you're going through something, like, it's easy for our brains to want to keep us. I get invited to a lot of stuff, and when I'm going through something, like my brain is quick to be like, nope, don't go, stay home. You just want to go back to bed. Put your PJs on. Don't go.
You're not putting on leg prisons.
Right. But I found every time that I've actually not listened to my brain and I've went,
Right.
I've had so much fun. Like so much fun. So I'd like to just put it out there for everybody else that kind of struggles with it. I know we get really busy, fast-paced lives and stuff. If you are struggling with that, I tend to do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 Mel Robbins thing, the 5-second rule.
Yeah, yeah.
And it kind of does redirect myself. And then I stopped fighting with myself to get up and go and just do it. Just get up and get ready and just go. And it's fun. I've had a lot of fun doing that. I feel like a lot of people this time of year are kind of struggling with depression and different things. Life is changing, seasons change, and through that, like a lot of things are happening. You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
and a lot of things are shifting. So I would definitely recommend to try the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and try to get yourself up and dressed and go, because you might just be missing out on a new opportunity with a new friend, somebody else that's going through the same thing that could actually help you get through it, or just a laugh, a smile, or networking. Just try. Okay, what you got?
Jeremy chimed in and said, "Work on yourself, help each other when they need or want it, and be the best that you can be."
Absolutely.
Tim TM chimed in.
That's Tim.
Tim, okay. It says, "Amen, Apostle Jeremy Scott gives."
Nice.
But yeah,
nice.
I mean, that's finish what you were saying about that.
Well,
That
I mean,
great.
I just really though, I know we've all gone through it, and this time of year is really hard. Like I came to the studio straight away because I knew once I went home, I was gonna want to put PJs on and curl up in a burrito blanket and not want to come back out for the podcast. Well, I can't do that.
Right.
I have a responsibility. I mean, you guys would have missed me. I think it would have been the Tony show.
Yeah, nobody really wants to watch that.
But I mean, I stopped myself and just came right here instead of letting my mind go, okay, yeah, go home. Because I knew better. I knew what was going to happen.
Well, and what became of that is we actually had a really great conversation before the podcast. And
we did.
You know, it was
did.
like, okay, what are we going to talk about?
Right.
Because it was what, maybe half an hour?
Yeah. Beforehand. Yeah. Yeah.
And here we are. Holy shit! Seriously, is that the time?
It is that time. It's crazy.
But yeah, I mean, half hour of prep, and we've got an hour and a half of stuff to talk about. Plus, we got a visit from the lovely Mitch Gill.
Oh, Mitch.
Tell them what they've won, Vanna.
Oh, hey guys. Speaking of, crunch them up. Speaking of Mitch Gill, though, before we do end up going, he does have another Get a Room Comedy Club show coming up on Black Friday. I know that everybody is busy. They get ready to go and do like the shopping and stuff, but the show isn't until 8 o'clock. Doors open up at 6. It's going to be at Brentwood and Carroll. Tickets are only $15. If you pay attention to the show, he gives us 2 tickets usually to give away. So if you guys pay attention, it'll either be the week or the week of the show that we'll be able to give those away, and we'll tell you guys how you can go ahead and win those. Always have a great time every time we've went. There's so many different comedians that he has. Last show was just, man, it was knockout from the beginning. It was hilarious. And I feel like even if it is Black Friday, still come to the show. I mean, support your comedians, because laugh therapy is super important, I believe.
Yes.
It is something that I truly believe in. I try to add something to laugh about every single day. Every morning. I mean, I've got my ritual that I do, and that's part of it. It's part of it.
Doing the positive mood mornings or whatever it was.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
I mean, we were getting messages. Becky would message, every morning to say hi and stuff, and I kind of put my own spin on it.
Right.
With putting out a positive message, something, gift that's funny, or whatever. And then a positive message with a quote or something, and then sometimes I put on. I've generally been putting on music, but there's some days that I can't do it. Like I left my phone. I wasn't able to do it yesterday, so if you notice, nobody got the message yesterday.
Right.
But today I went out and I kind of went a little bit extra. But it's something I feel that some people just don't get those positive messages.
Right.
Or a good morning or whatever. And I got a group of I think 16 that get the messages in the morning.
Wow.
And it's just something that I wanted to do.
That's 16 people's lives you are positively affecting.
Well, that's pretty cool. I didn't think about it.
Yeah, seriously, think about that. I mean,
right.
That normally it's kind of your inner circle, but that's 16 people. Those 16 people, they're starting out with seeing the goofy gifts and stuff like that.
Right. And the music to get them pumped in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
But it's It is for those 16 people, and you're included in that. And I will add anybody else if they want to get in on the messages in the morning and stuff too. I don't mind.
Yeah.
Just let me know if you want me to send those. Either we'll probably have to be friends on Facebook first. Send me a message, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I can add you to the motivational positive morning messages that I send out.
That's what it's called?
Something like that.
Okay.
Positive motivational morning message, I think is what it is. But it's something that I enjoy doing, but it's not just for you guys, it's for me as well. So I seen it. Go ahead.
Are you reading it? Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Jeremy says great motivational inspiring show without a single fart joke.
Oh, I guess we're gonna have to.
There you go.
So what did the ghost say when he went to the bathroom?
I don't know.
Boom boo.
Oh goodness. There's your dad joke and the fart joke all in one. But
That's right.
You guys, it's getting to that time. I gotta get up early for work in the morning, which I love my job. Don't get me wrong. We were talking about the punch in the 9 to 5, but I love my job.
Right.
So guys, thank you for tuning in with us. I know it was a different direction than we normally do with the Don't Make This Weird show. So thanks for sticking it out and hanging out with us, even with our voices and stuff off, sound off.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys hanging out, asking questions, chiming in. It's been awesome. What you got?
Tim chimed in and said, y'all tweet or Facebook profiles, please. Hit Jeremy up. We're on his friends list.
Yeah. Yep. We're on there. I usually don't look like this.
So yeah, shout out to all of our fellow podcasters, Survivor Girl, Mitch's Fake Radio, This Is My Brain.
Yeah.
And all of the other ones that are coming.
SolidStateRadio.net. Check them out, guys. There's so many different shows on there. There's something for everybody. Also, they play local music bands from all over Michigan, which is very, very cool. They support. So if you know a band and you want to get your music on, hit up Sean or Adam. On SolidStateRadio.net. You can find them on Facebook. They do re-air our episodes. They're archived. All of our stuff that comes out of Strange Friends Media is over, except for This Is My Brain, but that's getting there. We're getting there. Great show, too. Check that out. Those are archived. I don't know how many episodes there are yet because I'm not part of the production, and I don't know.
It's all a blur.
There's quite a few. So go ahead and check those out. Like our Facebook page, our Don't Make This Weird Facebook page, Strange Friends Media. Help share us, guys, because it will help get us out to more people to listen to the Don't Make This Weird podcast and all the other ones that we mentioned. So we appreciate all of you tuning in, chiming in, getting in on this inspirational conversation on a Halloween night, which we weren't going to go in that direction, but we did.
Whatever.
And we're not sorry.
Nope.
So have a great night, guys. We will be back next Thursday at 8 p.m. and Chris should be here. So we will resume the fart and boob jokes and. Have a great night.